What's up, my melanated ones? Thank you for tuning in to Kissed by the Sun. This is your girl Shelly. So in today's video, this is like a topic that I truly love. Being natural, I love when hair transforms. My favorite form of transformation is when naturals get their hair trimmed for the first time. I love it. I love it. It's oddly satisfying for me to see when people get their ends trimmed and it looks healthy again. That's bomb to me. All right, so let's get into our video. So this client came in. As you can see, her hair already looks healthy. It's nice and shiny. The stylist gave her a nice flat iron. It looks good. So she's going to give her a trim and, you know, get her together. Keep her looking right, okay? So as you can see, she's trimmed her hair, and I have a picture that I want you guys to decide where you want your stylist to cut your ends at if you were her. So line A, I've seen people who waited a whole year to get a trim. I don't know why, but they waited a whole year to get a trim. You shouldn't do that. As soon as your ends are giving you a problem, go and get a trim. But a lot of people on their natural hair anniversary, they do go and get a flat iron, and that's where they really let their stylist trim their ends. So I can see why people would go with A. So if you agree with A, put video 1 A. If you think B, put B, then C. So the stylist, she did go with line B, but me being the person that I am, I want it all cut off, honey, because on C you can still see a little bit of see-through. So I would want C. But the most important thing is, if you are a stylist, make sure your client has the white cape on so she can see what's going on with her ends. And I would suggest that you take a picture for your client and draw lines on the picture and let them know, like, hey, where do you want me to cut at, and give your expertise on where you think they should cut at and what would be the most beneficial for them. But if they go with line A, then, you know, go with line A, and then maybe talk to them and tell them, you know, in 6 weeks, you know, you change your mind, maybe we can go with, you know, B or C. But ultimately, it is up to the client to decide. But me personally, if I was in the chair, I would want her to go with C, but the stylist played it safe and went with B. Okay, let's go to our next picture. On this picture right here, the stylist already cut the client's hair. Now, granted, like I said before, you have to do whatever your client wants because you don't want to lose a client. So the client, this is what she wanted, but the stylist feels she should have cut more. What do you guys think? Video number 2, yes or no? Should she have cut more? Let me know what you guys think. All right, so here are my lines. So again, when you trim someone's hair, it needs to be at the part where it looks the thickest, okay? So line A, you know, you're still saving her a little bit, but ultimately, if you really want a nice healthy cut, B might be where you are should be at, even though you're sparing her still. But B, ultimately, it could be where it should be where it's at. I mean, if you really want some nice healthy looking hair, I would go with B. But let me know what you guys think, okay? All right, so we got another video. This, you could tell her hair is healthy. She's been, you know, it looks good. But again, you gotta put the white cape on to see everything. But let me know if you guys agree with where this stylist cut her hair at. Let us know. This is video number 3. Do you agree, yes or no? Her ends look pretty good. I mean, I would not be upset if my stylist did my ends like this. I think it looks good. All right, y'all. When you need a trim, but you want long hair, it's like you got to choose, okay? You can have long hair, but you do need a trim. So I want to talk to you guys about the benefits of trimming your hair. For one, it is for damage control, and it helps with your hair growth. When you trim your ends, you're cutting off the dead weight that you don't need. Like, kind of like how you have people in your life. If you have people in your life that you don't need and they're constantly weighing you down and they're not bringing any joy into your life, you need to let them go. That's the same thing you need to do with your ends. If your ends is looking like this picture, you need to let it go, okay? Another reason that you need to trim your ends is it prevents single strand knots. Single strand knots, where you get those weird little knots in your hair. So when you're trying to detangle your hair, and you're like, man, this is taking a lot longer. It makes me feel like I'm tender-headed trying to comb these knots out. It is time to cut your hair because your hair should not have knots in it like that. So trim those ends and get those knots out of there, and you will notice that it will be faster for you doing your hair. Another reason that you should trim your ends is because it helps with the fuller look. I agree. I'm going to show you guys a picture. So, like, look right here. The girl's hair who is very damaged, if she would trim her hair at least to like the healthy stage, it would look really good. Like, there's no point of saying you have long hair if it's looking like this. Like, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You'll be so much better off if you trim your ends. It'll at least look better if you cut it. So that's why I think it's important to trim your ends. Another reason that you should trim your ends is it's for less breakage. I don't know if you know, but if you have knots in your hair and you're constantly combing your knots out or trying to comb them out, it creates a snapping effect on your hair. So you should trim them. I have a couple of questions that people tend to ask about hair. How often should I trim my ends? So what I decided to do is I trim my hair as needed or with the season. So when the season comes around, I'm checking to see, do I need to chop it off and let it grow? And that works for me. Let me see. How can I trim my hair? That's a question people ask. So a way for you to trim your hair is you can either stretch it out, you know, where you put some plaits in your hair or put some scrunchies in your hair to stretch it out, let it dry like that while it's wet, and so it'll have like the blown out look. You could do that, and then, you know, put your cape on to see where you need to trim it off at. You could do that. Another way you could do it is you can actually blow dry your hair. You know, if you feel comfortable blow drying your hair, blow dry it, use a heat protectant, and blow dry your hair, and that's how you could trim it. Some other naturals decide to go for their natural hair anniversary. They'll get a flat iron, a silk press, and that's how they'll get their ends trimmed. So you could decide, but ultimately it's up to you to decide how to do it. Another way I've seen people trim their ends is when you do like a 2-strand twist on your hair, and where you see your ends look really thin at, not actually as thick as or juicy as a twist. So they cut those parts off. That works as well too. So you gotta find your own method for trimming your hair, or you could just go to your stylist and ask them to do it too, or find a stylist, because not everybody has a stylist that they trust. So definitely find a stylist that you could trust to trim their ends. I mean, look at their Instagram page, their Facebook page, to see how they're trimming their other clients, and look at their hair growth that they're doing for their other clients, and look at your stylist hair. If she's passionate about natural hair, then definitely go see that stylist. So I want you guys to get into the comments and let me know what you guys think of this video. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you have another video topic for me, let me know that as well too. And I'll check you guys on the next video. All right, y'all.